Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 in our theme park of Mytholandria. First and foremost, thank you everyone for the support since the series has started. It's been unbelievable, completely unexpected, but I am absolutely loving it. Now in the last episode, we definitely started off okay, a little bit of frustrations with a lot of stuff, but it's gonna get cleaned up. I'll just say that right now. So, before we begin, if you want to support the channel and continue this series showing up in the YouTube algorithms, you can do so by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving your comments in the comment section down below, which is what you guys have been doing in spades. Okay, so the last time you looked at this whole setup, it was wildly different, and let me run you through it. I did try and record this part over the weekend. Didn't work. The file got corrupted somehow, yada yada. Long story short, we revised the whole space, but I think it looks fantastic. For one, there are a couple of buildings that I missed in terms of getting that blue theme on, so I need to work on that. But we've got the whole blue and white theme going on, which I think really helps differentiate it from the park and helps people understand, hey, this is kind of the water theme park of stuff. Now, we have some extra buildings over here. We have our changing station, which finally worked. It wasn't working before because I just didn't have the right connection. Now it does, and people are all over the swimming pool area. We revised our temple, our bath, which looks great. That blue and white theme looks stellar. And I also revised the height of the pool in order for people to go wading in it, which is what I was hoping for in the first place. So I was able to figure that out and edit it up really well. We have our station hidden back here, which I really enjoy. Our baths, lots of seating, and then over here in our flume, I figured out a new system. Oh, and I am excited for how it looks and how it turned out. So we do have a rather long flume slide that goes into our dump, what I call the dump. That probably is incorrect, but it still works. And then, so I took a long time figuring this out, making it, well, let's see, I can't remember exactly what the ratings are. All right, so 4.5 for excitement, 3 for fear, 2 for nausea. Not too shabby overall. They don't go too terribly fast, but if we were to look at the next person coming through, and if he were to go down this slide, there we go. So fun little dip, and then it slows down almost to a stop, comes around here, and then one of my favorite parts is like you basically go right underneath the biceps of Poseidon, which I think really works. And then I took some extra time and put the main big pillars under the columns to make it look like these are jutting out of the columns. And then for each one of these smaller pillars, I made a custom little pillar asset that I covered up all of the main pillars with. So it looks like it's standing on top of marble, which I really, really like. We put in one of the basic pools, but I cleared out everything and put in our own custom assets, a lot of the Mediterranean style assets, trees, everything like that to really make this look cool. We've got our nice area that you could walk on. Are they walking on that? Oh, I thought he was walking on it and I was going to be really, really impressed. But overall, the aquarium, or not the aquarium, the pool side on the Greek city-state area is looking fantastic. We have lots of stuff. It's getting in lots of guests. We have almost 2,000 guests, 30,000 research. My word, can we do some stuff with that research? Why can't I go to chapter 2? Because I need to research chapter 1. Okay, cool. We can have some fun with that later. But the main purpose of today's episode is we have our Greek side, which does look stellar and fantastic. I absolutely love it. But we need to develop our Viking side. And our Viking side is going to look a bit different. I'm going to have to figure out how the spacing is going to work. I don't want it to be a mirror copy, but maybe it might have to be in terms of stuff, because if we go into our custom assets, by the way, I don't enjoy the Viking theme because Viking is an occupation, not a people group. They aren't the Vikings, as in the entirety of everyone who raided and pillaged and stuff. They weren't all Vikings per se. It's not as an entire people group. But we're going to go with like Norse or Saxon theme. I wish I could rename it, and maybe I can see if I can, just for kicks and giggles, just to be a little more accurate. Viking's an occupation. It's like being a plumber. You wouldn't label an entire people group as a plumber. But anyways, long story short, we have fantastic assets. We have great rides as well. We have our Viking upswing ride, which is your typical back and forth boat. And then you have a really sweet looking fort with a windmill style teacup thing. So we're definitely going to mirror that aspect, and that our first ride is going to be the teacup on the other side. But outside of that, I think we can have a lot of fun. For instance, I think if we could, we should see how far we can place this and see if I couldn't do something where it's literally swinging over the edge right there. I mean, that would look really cool. So that way, anytime anyone goes on this ride, they are literally on the edge, swinging over the abyss below, which I think would be really fun. But in short, the park's doing great. I'm absolutely loving where we're going with it, and we just need to expand. And I'm really excited for this part. Now, the only thing that stinks is that I can't select the entirety of this and expand it. Can I? No, there are some aspects that just don't expand, which is frustratingly humorous to me, that we can't have that. But in any case, I think it'll be all right. I may mess with this custom asset real quick. All right, well, that took a little bit longer, but I wanted to expand this so that way when people do start coming in, it's a little bit of a bigger entrance. That way they kind of come in and then they immediately get met with this really awesome dragon-like statue thing going on. Yeah. And then just kind of like this idea of an not industrious, but you know, a work center that actually works really, really well. All right, well, that was a bit longer than I was anticipating. So I do want to kind of go with a straight format here. And the only reason for that is just so this first area is just really nice and smooth. Now that will limit what we can do 100%. But I can also extend everything out if I wanted to. So the kind of goal here is to maybe have some sort of Viking seashore, as it were. I'm going to say Viking because it's stuck in my head. Some Saxon, you know, shoreline thing, because we have a lot of really sweet pre-built assets with boats and stuff like that. But then we also need to make way for our Viking teacups area, because we really, really want to have that in, and it just takes up so much space, which is fine. I don't have an issue with it, but it does kind of limit a lot of what we can do in total. So I think what we might do is we might skip the Viking seashore theme, unless I can find a way to do it here. And in which case, we might be able to squeeze out something well. I think I'm going to go ahead and flatten the terrain a bit more. just to give myself some leg room to kind of stretch out and breathe, basically. I think that would be a really, really positive thing to have here. And then, let's see, we need to have a little bit of variation. In our terrain, it's kind of already starting to be too flat and mundane. So we're definitely going to add some there. But I think we can totally accomplish this, everything that we need to do today, inside of the realm of being feasible. So let's go ahead. Yeah, we're not going to worry about parking lots or anything like that. I think we're going to go ahead and start the time lapse for everything that needs done over here on our Viking side. So apologies for all the timelines in the beginning. I think it's pretty crucial to value your time and my time in the same space. I think we're ready to rumble in the jungle. All right, everybody. Well, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I had a lot of fun building this. We've got a couple areas here that I kind of want to flesh out. I know that's a delicious word, fleshing out. But I want to make sure that all this feels, you know, naturally fulfilled and looks good while doing it. So we're going to place a couple of little things here, just enough to get it really immersed. Probably do a little bush line here. Very cool. So even though you can't really see this right here, I am contemplating cutting out this section here to add a space for the other swing ride that will kind of go over the cliff like I had mentioned earlier. But we've got everything rocking and rolling. Our Teacups 3, I'm going to rename to Windmill O Spin. And there's really nothing that needs to be done here. I may add a couple of things, but I love everything about it. I mean, there's just really cool assets. Lots of really fun little teacups. Lots of people lining up for it as well. And then now we're splitting our park just a little bit. And where people are coming in on both sides. I have an awesome little... Oh, this got deleted. Oh, no. Let's go into here. I don't remember what we had over here. We're going to go with a Latte Love Shop, though. There is no path. There's been some pathing issues that I kind of wish the game would hurry up and realize it has us and get that fixed. But yeah, so we have plenty of retail things. We have... There we go. Let's open up back there too. Sweet. So we have our fun little compact village where our employees can go. A nice, fun little entrance into the teacup station. We have a handful of shops. Lots of bustling stuff going on with this one. And then we have a couple more shops and even a gift shop back here. And if they could, they would come back over here and see our waterfalls. But pretty compact and pretty nice so far. And in fact, we have just a wee bit of time. I do think I'm going to go ahead and start preparing this one for the next ride, which is going to be back here. And I am going to need to add something to make this a little more accessible as well. And on that idea of accessibility, if any of you know, in the previous parks I've done for Prehistoric Kingdom, one of the things that I do care deeply about is accessibility. Accessibility isn't thought about enough inside of parks. And so what I need to do is I do need to make an accessible way down the hill over into our Greek side of things. Do you think that makes sense? This does not make sense. We can do something like that. There we go. I'm actually okay with that. That actually is a decently fair compromise. But anyways, someone mentioned that, and I thought, you know what, that's a fantastic point, that I haven't made it accessible to get down here. So what we might do is we may add a smaller path that comes here that diverges away from this and just adds a gentle sloping thing down here. So at least they can access that. And maybe down here is more of the option to go towards the back of the park. I don't know. I need to figure that out. But that is a very, very good point, and thank you so much for pointing that out to me, because that is very important to my considerations on where we build. But regardless, guys, I think that's going to end the episode right here. We have a great Viking setup. I absolutely love it. Norse, whatever we're going to call it, Saxon. You guys let me know what you want me to call it, because Viking just technically isn't correct. And if we're going to go down that route, we can go down that route if we want to, unless someone has a really good justification for it, outside of just like naming conventions. But yeah, you can see, oh, we could do that. We may build an archway in our next segment. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do hope you enjoyed the time lapse. If you did, you know how to engage the YouTube algorithm by simply giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel, and of course, leaving your wonderful comments down in the comment section below. The Viking will be here, the Viking channel side of things will be here for a couple of more episodes, so strap in, get ready for the Viking expansion so we can start working together to make a pretty kick-butt park. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much once again. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next episode.